Melt the oil in an oven on warm inside a Pyrex dish. You could also place the oil in the sun and let it melt. Another option is to let your entire container of oil sit in a bowl of hot water or run it under hot water from the faucet in the sink until it melts. Measure out the amount of oil that you'll need. You want a little more than 1/3 of a cup for an 8-ounce container of scrub. Next, measure out 1/2 cup of sugar and have another 1/2 cup of sugar on hand. Pour about 1/2 to 3/4 of the amount of oil that you'll be using for your scrub into the container that you've chosen. Pour 1/2 cup of sugar into the liquid oil and stir. After you've mixed up the sugar and the oil, you want to add your additions. And this is because the additions will be harder to stir in later once the entire scrub container is full. Right now, today we're using dried and pressed bougainvillea flowers from my hometown of Santa Barbara. After you stir up your additions, you want to add more oil and more sugar, layering and stirring until the container becomes full and the scrub becomes thick. So you want to be a little more heavy-handed with the sugar than the oil. At this point you can see that there's a layer of oil that's collecting on the top as we let the scrub sit and settle. And we want to get rid of that. We want to keep adding sugar and pressing it in so that the scrub becomes even thicker and more solid without any residue of oil showing. So we just pressed that final top layer of sugar in. The scrub feels pretty solid, and if another little layer of oil residue shows up, I'll just keep adding a spoonful at a time, pressing it in and letting it absorb. And that's pretty much how you want it to be for your final product. You want it to be chunky like that and not oily. Be sure to read the blog post that goes with this video for more tips and details on how to make and use the scrub.